Hey guys, Paul here with Stroker's Garage. As promised, I wanted to get into the secondary purpose of my channel here, which is tool review and just other things I'm doing around the shop. So I want to get started here with the first video being my shop. So when we bought the house, it came with a 4-car garage, which is actually just 2 tandem. So the first half is for my wife and the second half I get to do whatever I want with, so it became my shop. So I want to go around with you guys, show you what I plan to do to get it up and going so I can get started on the Mustang. And so we'll first start off on the right side here. So as we're coming through, as you notice, the Mustang's there, and that's where she's going to be from here on out. I get about 4 feet of space on the left and right sides of her, plenty of room to work. And then here, just a bunch of shelving for odds and ends, tools and whatnot. And then I got some mobile units here. So I got my bench grinder, which is put into a bucket of about half filled with concrete. So it does vibrate around a little bit, but that little Ryobi does a pretty decent job of doing what it needs to do. So up here I got my Wen, I believe it's a 12-inch variable speed press, drill press. This guy does pretty good. I'll get into a video on that. So far I've been pretty happy with it. So over here I got my Cobalt 60-gallon air compressor, and this thing's been a workhorse, works just fine. I just need to get it wired up. The plan for this guy is once I get my deck built out here, there's going to be a shed down below, and then I'll move it down into there so I don't have to listen to it anymore, and I'll just plumb the piping to come out right about here. And that'll be good. And then over here, I plan to have absolutely nothing. I want to be able to work in the front of the car and not have to run into stuff. So I don't plan on putting anything through here. Right in the center of the car here on the wall, I'll probably have a flip down shelf so that I could put maybe a laser level on and help just when I'm building the car to line things up and keep them centered to the car. So that's an idea. Over here is where the weld table is going to be. It's a Certi-Flat 3-foot by 4-foot weld table, and I'll do a build video on that when it's time. And then here I got my workbench. The wife got it for me as a Christmas present. I'm just not allowed to open it until then, and so you guys know how that is. But it's a 72-inch by 24-inch deep by 40-inch high workbench, and that's about what it's going to look like. So I'll get that built. And then here, just my toolbox. It's from a Home Depot brand, Husky. And then welders and stuff. The TIG welder, which has got its cover on right now, is actually a Lincoln Square Wave TIG 200. That'll permanently go underneath the weld table when it's time. And then this guy will get a roller, a weld cart to go on, and I'll be able to bring that around the Mustang as needed. So I've got two 220 outlets in the garage, one on each side. This one will actually get moved further down there to where the weld table is going to be. No big deal. And then that'll be good to go. So that's basically it, and I'll bring you guys through it on getting the shop all set up. I'm gonna add some lighting and some shelves around the shop to put parts on and whatnot, and then that'll be it. So what I want to get into now with you guys is actually the tool I used, as promised, to lay this out the most efficient way possible, and it's actually a tool called Draftsight. All right, guys, as promised, here's Draftsight. That's D-R-A-F-T-S-I-G-H-T. And if you throw a .com behind that, you can go get this guy for free. It's a great 2D only CAD software. You can get the premium version if you want, but I have not seen any reason why I needed to do that. I know you could do some pretty high-level landscaping designs with this tool, but for my purposes, it works just fine. If you want to do 3D work, you can get Fusion 360 for free. That's from Autodesk, and then you can also get SolidWorks, but that does cost money. But if you go and join up with the Experimental Aircraft Association, or EAA, it's like $50 a month, or not a month, a year. You can get the tool for free. So that being SolidWorks, which is a great, very powerful 3D CAD software. Okay, so how I use this tool to set up for my garage is what I did is I went in and I got the dimensions with the tape measure inside the garage, and then I came in and I plotted those out. And then so I did my back wall and both my side walls. And then I got the measurements of the Mustang, all the tools that I plan on placing out on there, and then I just laid them out. So this is just the initial, hey, here's my drawing, and this is what I have to work with. And then what I did is I copied it over And then I move stuff around until I like the layout that I wanted. So essentially, I did several of them, about 9 of them, and ended up with this guy. This is the actual layout I chose. So if you remember, we walked through here and came around. So this is the actual, what was it? The storage shelf, and then the bench grinder and the drill press, and then this is the air compressor. And then we came around, and this is where I decided to put the welding table. So this is actually, 4 feet between these 2 sides, and then 3 feet deep, right? So I pulled it off the wall about 10 inches to make room for argon tank, and then here's the workbench, and then here's the toolbox. And so to me, that was the most efficient way of doing it. So that's how I use this tool to lay out multiple floor plans and then decide which one I like to use the best. So let's get into some of the basics of this software, right? So if you remember anything from this, remember your left hand does your commands, unless you got to actually type a full command out like copy or mirror, and your right hand is where you place stuff and connect stuff. So like for instance, line, if you hit L and then spacebar is your execute, you will initiate a line command. So let's do that. So I'll hit L and then I'll hit execute, and it says, hey, where do you want it? So I click here, and then it'll snap lines for the x-axis and the y-axis. So you can see there's that one, and then we get into the negative on these 2 here. So we'll draw a positive x-axis line and drop it, there you go, and then we'll do a positive y. And then the great thing about this tool, so if you notice, if I draw past here, let's say I'm trying to do a perfect rectangle, I can't, it won't snap to it. But if I select the endpoint, just highlight it, don't click, and then I bring it up, it'll snap the line at the intersection between those 2, between the x and the y-axis, and I'll drop it, and then I can bring it down and finish that out. So now I have a perfect rectangle where 2 sides for each are the same, right? There you go. Let's copy something. So we'll draw a line, and let's say we'll do this here, we'll do that there, and then I'll come up and snap it to here, we'll bring it to here, and there you go, right? So not perfect, but there you go. So I'll type copy and then spacebar, and then we'll select everything, and then it'll execute again because we've done selecting the entities that we want to copy, and it says, hey, where do you want to copy from? So we'll just click here, and there you go, copied, right? Pretty straightforward. Let's say you want to draw with dimensions. So we'll grab here, drop another line. Now let's say I want it to be 80 inches long. So I'll type 80 after I place it, and it'll be 80 down in the corner down here. It's kind of hard to see. And then remember, point it in the direction that you want, and then I'll hit execute, boom, and there's an 80-inch line, right? And then we'll go up, let's say we'll go up 80 inches here, and we'll just point it the direction that we want, and then I can either use the snap feature or I can finish drawing this out. So we'll do 80 again, and then we can select the endpoint, click, and execute, we're done. That is a perfect square. So now I can, let's say I want to mirror it, right? So I want to mirror this object, right? So let's type out mirror, hit execute, select what I want to mirror, and then on done selecting, I'll hit execute. Now it says, where do you want to mirror from? So I can click here and then rotate this around, right? So there you go. And then, yep, it could do that. It could be perfect like that. We'll just do that right there. And then it says, do you want to delete the source entity? So do I want to delete this? Well, no, I don't. I want to keep it. So it defaults to no. So I can just hit spacebar or hit N and hit spacebar for no. There you go, done. If you're stuck in a command, just hit escape, it'll bring you out of it. If you want to mirror a distance away, so let's say I wanted this to end up being 60 inches over, I could just draw a line 60 inches over here, and then I can, I select, well actually let's just do it. So we'll draw an object here, boom, boom. We'll get that to snap. There we go. And then let's say I want to do, we'll do 60 there, right? And then I'll mirror it. We'll select it, all that. And then I'll go to the midpoint there. And then there you go. It brings it over. So you can set it up to mirror however far away you want, and just to make things exact, right, and equal. There you go. We can do dimensions, so we'll come up here to dimension tool, we'll select smart tool, and we could do from, let's say we want to know what the dimension of this line is. Now you can click on here, it'll give you the dimension of that, and if we want to know the dimension between this line and this line, we can select both of those and then pull up and it'll do the line. So we could do here, Let's try that again. It didn't fire. Here we go. There you go, pull it up, right? And then let's say we want to know the distance between this line and this line here as well. And we'll go back to Smart. So we'll click here, and then we'll click on this line again, and then pull it down. Cool, and then we'll go ahead and select both of the dimensions. And then we'll scroll down over here. This guy here is kind of like your home screen, like, hey, here's how to change the font size or coloring of letters, or just what have you. Just look through it, and we'll come down and we'll get to the fit, right? Here we are. So I'll just throw 20 in there. I know 20 works because I experimented when I built this out, the floor plans out, and it just works. So we'll hit enter on that, and then we can X out of that, and then we'll come back over here and we'll zoom in. There's your dimension between those two lines, 72.07 inches, and then we can come down and know the distance between this line and this line, which is 24.15 inches. And you can leave those on there and print it out, and you know exactly what measurements you need. It's awesome. Let's see here, what else we got? Let's do a circle. So we just hit C, execute, click, and there you go, circle. That's pretty easy. Now let's say we want to have, you know, over here I drew this arc, right? I did that with a circle for the door sweep. So if we come over here, and then we'll just get the center. So if you come down here and click, and then you can see that the center, well, not click, you just highlight, but you see the center indicator comes up. Now you can come up here and it'll snap to it, and you click, and then you can click where it intersects, and then we'll draw another line, do the same thing to here. Okay, now you could type trim, execute, and it says specify cutting edges. So we want to cut from here and from here, right? Now we'll hit execute, and now it wants to know, okay, where do you want to trim from? I can get rid of this portion of the line or this portion of the line. So let's just have it do the door sweep. So we'll click out here, and there you go. It trims that out, right? So, but if I undo that, we'll go up to edit, hit undo, and then we'll do trim again. And my cutting edges are here and here. Now let's do it again, but we'll click here. There you go. It's a little Pac-Man, right? Cool. So there's that. Now you could do one other thing amongst many. Let's rotate this image, right? So we'll rotate. We'll type out rotate and hit execute, and then we'll say we want this whole thing to rotate, right? And we'll click where we want it to, and now I can actually rotate it. It's kind of like mirror, however, it doesn't do a copy of it, right? So we'll rotate it down to here, and there you go. And you just changed its orientation. So that's a quick rundown about how to use the tool. I hope that helps you guys get started. It's a lot of just playing around. There's a lot more to this tool, but I can't spend hours and hours and hours looking at this with you as much as I would love to. But you know, get it, download it, start playing around with it, and you can also do things, I forgot, like offset. You can offset a line to 2.5 inches to represent like a 2x4, so you can lay out floor plans and walls and whatnot. You just type in offset and follow the instructions, and you'll be good to go with that. So you can do full house floor plans with this thing, all 2D top-down view. So I hope you guys like this. That's the it's going to be end of this tool review. It's my first one. Please subscribe. Let me know what you think, and as always, you can reach me at strokersgarage@gmail.com. All right, thanks guys.